Over the past 10 years, many colleges went mad. They charge students big bucks and then make them feel guilty. This is what happened to Lucy Kross Williams at Stanford.
I was anxious. I felt guilty constantly. I couldn't stop thinking about the whole white privilege thing.
Kimi Katiti attended the Art Institutes of California.
I feel like I lost my life for like 6 years.
This new documentary, The Coddling of the American Mind, argues that today more young people are anxious and depressed because adults at their schools brainwash them.
I was full of self-confidence when I was 18, but while I was in college, that disintegrated.
Kimi was taught she was a victim.
I was introduced to ideas such as microaggressions.
Have you heard or even said any of these common microaggressions? Wow, you're so articulate. Can I touch your hair?
I began to see myself through the lens of Black and a woman. If I see someone like coming up with their dog, for example, and the dog's barking at me, I could interpret that as a racist microaggression on the part of both the dog and the dog walker. And I was like, the world's a lot darker than I thought it was. In order to kind of compete and get the best grades, I sort of showed how much of a victim I was in order to impress my professors.
She thought that was wrong, but she didn't push back.
I thought, I'm paying a lot, so they're definitely teaching me like the golden rules for life.
Ben Shapiro, go to hell!
Those rules included censoring speech by conservatives like Ben Shapiro. Kimi joined the mob trying to get Shapiro's posts blocked on Twitter. She kept sending complaints to Twitter censors.
I would sit down all the way through the night. I'll try again, I'll try again.
At Stanford, Lucy was taught that Shapiro's ideas put Black, brown, trans, queer, Muslim students at risk.
My first thought was like, this is extreme, this is ridiculous. And then there was the, well, you're privileged, you're white.
She was taught that a good person...
I didn't read too many books by white authors or listen to the wrong kind of music. I was really torn on rap because I didn't know if that was appropriation or appreciation.
To be accepted, she changed the way she spoke.
When I started to use the vocabulary of like marginalized, intersectional, hegemonic, blah, 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 people just kind of smiled a little bit more. And I started feeling like I was part of an in-group.
But a few years later, she concluded...
These set of thought processes was really unhealthy and was making me miserable.
Administrators teach students that they're fragile and in constant danger and can be permanently harmed by words. This is not a kind or compassionate thing to teach people.
Greg Lukianoff co-wrote The Coddling of the American Mind. Years ago, he suffered from suicidal depression. Therapy helped him, but now...
I'm looking on campus and I'm like, wow, it's kind of like administrators are telling students to catastrophize, to do all these things that I was taught not to do.
This is amplified by required courses that divide students into oppressed or oppressor.
Colleges provide websites and phone numbers so students can report people who offend them.
And lots of people offend them.
In 2012, there was none of this.
Coddling co-author Jonathan Haidt.
And by 2014, 2015, there was a lot of it.
What about our protection right now?
At this college, they
basically took the president of the university hostage. They wouldn't even let him go to the bathroom. It wasn't about learning. It wasn't about exposure to ideas. It was about this battle between good and evil.
This new censorship was supposed to help minorities, but they too were often punished. Saeed Malami spoke at a protest.
I go up there, feeling all cool with myself. It was like, blackness is not a skin color. It's an attitude to life. If you're white, you can be black. If you're black, you can be purple, whatever it is. I'm like, everyone can be black. And what happened after that, a lot of people I thought I was tight with just stopped talking to me.
So instead of saying, I'm no victim, he shut up.
What I thought to be true, I would keep in my head and then say something else.
Doing that makes other students dumber.
Other people challenging us make us smart. Cancel culture is like a way of shooting yourself in the brain.
For Kimi, a turning point was when she went to a skate park in a conservative neighborhood.
Are they going to hate that a black woman's in their territory? Will they literally pick up a skateboard and attack me?
The park was in Orange County, California.
I was afraid of Orange County to begin with, just because it was notoriously conservative. So just going into Orange County was kind of scary for me.
But at the park, Kimi found the county was not evil as she'd feared.
This was a really great place. That was when I knew There was a way that I was looking at the world that wasn't right. I was the one inflicting pain on myself, and it was robbing me of happiness.
It's really important to have great sympathy for younger people today because they're just doing what older people are telling them, like this idea that they're always in constant danger, that words will permanently harm them, and that they're much more fragile than they actually are.
When I was a social justice advocate, I was tired, miserable, pessimistic.
Now that I'm out of that and I'm thinking for myself, I'm much happier.
I wasn't really sure what the alternative was until a friend sent me a link
to this YouTube channel where Black scholars said things she'd never heard.
The whole business of Black men being at a unique risk of being killed by white cops is vastly distorted.
I was astonished to find that there were Black thinkers writing about race and sharing ideas that I never heard on campus. This whole new world of ideas was opened up to me, and it was so exciting to feel like I was thinking for myself again.
Coddling is a good introduction to how some of today's schools harm students. This video was just a taste. There's more in the full documentary, and you can find that at thecoddlingmovie.com. Here at Stossel TV, we'll continue to highlight interesting documentaries that make important points. For more like this, please like and subscribe below.